Welcome back students. Students, in fiber to fabric chapter, we already studied about wool. As you know that wool is an animal fiber. Now in today's class, we will study about another animal fibers, that is silk. You know student, silk is obtained from silkworm. There is a term sericulture. What is sericulture? Or you can say silk farming. So sericulture, it is the rearing of silkworm for the production of raw silk. We called it sericulture or silk farming. Students, silk was produced first in China more than 5,000 years ago. So today, China and Japan are the two main producers of silk. They together manufacturing more than 50% of the world's silk production. India and Italy are also significant silk producer. So if I talk about the characteristics of silk, so silk, it is a naturally occurring animal protein fiber and it is as strong as steel thread. Then it has a natural tendency to repel dust. It is a bad conductor of heat and it has a unique natural shine. Our next topic is life history of silk moth, or we can say life cycle of silkworm. So the female silk moth lays 300 to 400 eggs in cluster on mulberry leaves. So when the eggs of silk moth hatch, larvae are produced called caterpillar or silkworm. So they grow in size when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history, and we called it pupa. So before entering into this stage, what caterpillar do? Caterpillars weaves a net that can hold it. So the caterpillar then swing its head in the shape of an 8. So during these movements of the head, the caterpillar secretes fiber, which is made up of a protein and which become hardened on exposure to air and becomes silk fibers. The caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fiber and turns into pupa. So this covering, it is known as cocoon. Then students, caterpillars turn into silk moth inside this covering, or we can say the further development of the pupa into moth is continue inside the cocoon. So student, the silk thread on the silk yarn, it is obtained from the cocoon. Students, different types of silks are obtained because of the different types of silk moths. The mulberry silk moth is one of the most common kind of silk moth, and the silk fiber which is obtained from the mulberry silk moth, it is soft, lustrous, elastic and can be dyed in beautiful color. Through this diagram, I will explain you the life cycle of silkworm. So you can see here the first step, the female moth lays many tiny eggs on mulberry leaf. Then you can see here the second, the larva, which we called it caterpillars or silkworm. They feeding on mulberry leaves. Then students, the caterpillar changes into pupa inside the cocoon, and you know that the caterpillar secrete a fiber which is made up of a protein, and that protein which hardens on exposure to air and become silk fiber. Then after that, once the caterpillar completely cover itself by a silk fiber and it turns into pupa, and that covering is known as cocoon. And after that, the further development of the pupa into moth continues inside the cocoon. Now you can see that cocoon convert into adult moth. So this is the complete life cycle of silkworm. After that, the eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larva to hatch from the eggs. And this is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crop of leaves. And the caterpillar feed for around 25 to 30 days. And the caterpillar stop eating and move to tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin cocoons. So why this process is conducted generally when the fresh leaves appear on the mulberry trees? Because caterpillar can get enough food and they eat day and night and increase enormously in size. And after that, larvae are kept in clean bamboo trays along with freshly chopped mulberry leaves. And After 25 to 30 days, the caterpillars stop eating and they move to a tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin cocoons. There is a small racks or twigs may be provided in that trays so that the cocoons get attached to it. And the caterpillar or silkworm spins the cocoon inside, which develops the silk moth. So this is the rearing of silkworm. Now next is processing of silk. So in processing of silk, in this a pile of cocoons is used for obtaining silk fiber. So the cocoons are kept under the sun or boiled or exposed to steam, and the silk fiber separate out. So the process of taking out threads from the cocoon for use as silk, it is called reeling the silk. And it is done in a special machines which unwind the threads or fiber of silk from the cocoon. Then silk fiber are spun into silk threads and which are woven into silk cloth by weavers. Friends, I hope you understood about how we obtained wool and silk. So thank you students and have a wonderful day.